Hey, what's up everybody? This is Joshua Casper and I'm here to share with you Plugin Boutique's big news. It's called Scalar. It's a new music theory style plugin that is awesome. It's really intuitive and it helps you build chord progressions that are just perfect. Ones that you probably wouldn't even be able to make yourself unless you've got a degree in music theory. What's really cool about this plugin is how intuitive it is and how easy it is to get incredible results. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the user interface and then we're going to talk about some of the artist series packs that come included in the download. And inside those artist packs, producers as big as MJ Cole have contributed chord progressions to get you started. What we're going to do is go ahead and figure out how to get it set up inside of Ableton Live, and it's going to be a similar process for whatever DAW you have. It's really easy, so don't worry about it. And then we're going to walk through the user interface, and then we're going to jump into the genres and those artist packs that we were talking about earlier. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, everybody, this is Scalar. It is a chord detection and suggestion plugin. I'm going to go ahead and play some notes real fast. So I'm going to continue holding these keys. You'll see that I've got a C3, E3, and G3 pressed down. And up here at the top, it actually shows me these are the notes that are being pressed, and those notes together make this chord. And that works the same way for anything you're going to do on the keyboard. Just one C, there are no chords. Let's just press some random keys here and see what we can come up with. So that's a C major 7 right there. Now, like I said before, this is a detection and suggestion plugin, and I find myself using it more for the suggestion features. So that's what we're going to start with in this video. And in the second half, we're going to check out the detection things because it's also a great tool for that, especially if you have some Midi or if you're just hitting some keys and you don't know what's going on. It's going to give you a path to go down that's not going to be outside of the music theory realm. Before we jump into that though, I'm going to talk a little bit about these sounds. Right now, I've just got the piano preset from the sound bank. There are 3 other synths. There's a plucky one. There's a lead style one. And then more of a pad style one. But what's really cool is that it's super easy to get any other sounds triggered by Scalar from any of your favorite VSTIs. So I've just got a grand piano here on the second channel. Inside of Ableton Live, it's actually super easy to get that MIDI inside of the grand piano. And all I need to do is click the in button right here, turn off the audio for Scalar, and now I'm getting that grand piano VSTI triggered by the Scalar MIDI. Now this is a pretty simple project, but just to be safe, we want to come in and choose Scalar from that top drop down and Scalar again from the bottom one. And now no matter what we do, like add a second VSTIs and this and that, we're always going to be getting the MIDI signals from the Scalar channel pumped through that grand piano channel. Perfect. Let's jump back into Scalar. We've got scales. If I click that, we'll get all the available scales to us down here. We've got songs. These are suggestions for different genres. And if let's just come into, let's say, future bass, we get a chord progression up here. And this is a suggested chord progression for future bass style music. And this is just a starting point, although it sounds great. And to audition that, what we can do is click any one of them. Or we can hit the bind MIDI button. Which is going to be a lot better way to do things, I think, than clicking. So that's the future bass chord progression suggestion. If I come in, you'll see we've got more than a few genres in here, and I think there's going to be even more when the product is finally available. I have a sort of earlier version, and they're going to be stacking more genre suggestions and artist suggestions. Now inside of the artists here, I have chord progression suggestions from Carl Cox, CeCe Rogers, Josh Abrams, Leon Switch, and MJ Cole. I mean, these are huge names. Carl Cox is a legend. MJ Cole is huge right now. And there are going to be more than a few more added to the final product when it's available on Plugin Boutique. Keep that in mind here. I'm going to show you MJ Cole. So these are chords from MJ Cole, and look how complex these chords are. As I'm hovering over here, you'll see the notes lighting up here. Those are complex chords that I personally would never think of. They're starting points for us to start making our own style tracks. And in fact, the intro music was made from this chord progression. I didn't change anything. I just used this suggestion right out of the box and made that intro track. Those are beautiful chords, there's no doubt about it. Another way that Scalar works is, let's say I get this chord inside of a MIDI clip for example, I have no idea what key it is, but Scalar's gonna listen to those notes and tell me it's A flat Dorian mode. And it's also gonna give me how close it is to that particular key. So you can see here, I've got 7 out of 7 notes from the A flat Dorian scale, and we've got 8 out of 8 chords fit inside of that scale. So now that I have this suggestion here, I can start building my own progression down here in this sort of sketch area. So let's go ahead and choose this A flat minor 11th. And now that I have my sketch started, I can bind the MIDI to my sketch, and I can play that down here. And I also have quick controls to choose the octave, and also different inversions. We can go up to and down to. So once you have a basic outline of your progression, you can still change it up using these. Now let's jump into this menu right here. And I kind of apologize, it seems like I'm bouncing around from area to area, but that's kind of how Scalar works. You got your idea up here, and then you get sort of into the nitty-gritty down here using that idea, and you can change the scale at any time. Now this area is going to update depending on whatever scale you have. The scale is going to update depending on what kind of chord you have up here. So this updates this, and then this updates this. So let's focus on this section right here. We've got the diatonic chords. This is sort of straightforward stuff. If I hover over this A flat minor, you'll see that I'm getting a 3-note chord or a triad. And that's in the diatonic chord section. So this is like straight up basic stuff. And where Scalar really excels is the ability for chord variations for anyone. So if I click this, you'll see that I can choose any of the chords that fit inside of this scale, and I'll get all of the chord variations that fit inside of the scale as well. So I've got A flat here because I'm in the A flat Dorian mode, and I can choose any one of these chords and it's gonna fit inside of the A flat Dorian mode scale. And there are more than a few. Look at all of these variations. And as I was saying earlier, this is where Scalar really starts to excel, because we can choose any of these and they're all going to fit inside of the scale we're working with. And we can go through any one of the chord variations up here. So I'm going to start with this A flat minor 11th because that's what MJ Cole did. And then he went to C flat, for example. So if I come into C flat down here, maybe I don't want the major 7/9. Maybe I want the C flat sustained. I can just click it, drag it down, and we're good to go. And using the octaves down here, we can get them closer to where we want them. Really, really nice stuff. We can go even further with this suggestion box down here with the voicings. We've got the basic voicings, and then we have 7 different voicing types. Then we have another 6th and 7ths, 7ths inverted, minor 7ths and 9ths. And we just keep coming in and choosing these different voicing tabs, and we're getting many suggestions about what we can do inside of our chord progression. Now that's already pretty sweet. It sounds perfect. Now I'm only clicking one key on my keyboard and I'm getting those big chord sounds. And they sound perfect. And because they're outlined in blue and because of the way Scalar works, I know that it's all gonna fit inside of the scale. We also have a bind MIDI function here inside of the suggestion panel, so we can audition any one of these when we're switching through the voices. That's a voicing 7 option. Voicing 3, minor 7ths and 9ths. Now, if I jump back into chord variations for a second, let's check out this D flat major. Jump into the D flat major. Now, if you look over here in the suggestion panel, it's gonna give you a bunch of information. The note, which degree it is, the function of the chord inside of the scale, and it's also going to give you a substitution, and sometimes it's more than one, but here we have the 2 supertonic. So if I click that, it's showing me that the B flat variations are actually the 2nd super dominant chord of the progression, which means I can use them in the same place as I did that B major. So let's go ahead and check this out. I'm going to bind this MIDI. Let's see if any one of these actually sound better. So that suggestion actually sounds better to my ears for what I'm going for inside of this track. There's a couple of things we can do once we have a progression. Let's go ahead and finish out this progression. We'll just make 4 chords. We'll take it right from MJ Cole's suggestion box. So What we can do now is actually export the MIDI, and it's not like you click it and something happens. You just click and drag, in fact. Now I've got those 4 chords right inside of my piano channel. And another thing that's really awesome about Scalar is I can choose any of these and drag and drop them inside of my project. You can also play your sketch right here, or you can clear it and start again. So that's a basic overview of what Scalar is capable of in the suggestion category of the plugin itself. I just want to mention a second time that there are going to be more genres and more artist packs available in the first download once it's available in Plugin Boutique.